Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Farmington. Today is Sunday, March 28th, 2021. My name is Elizabeth Knight and I am the chair of the Sunday Service Committee. Today we return to our series on aha moments, or epiphanies, with real-life experiences and reflections shared by our members. In this service, members Bud Baggett and Don Donigan will share their own aha moments with animal connections. And additionally, you'll hear an original poem written by our own Reverend Leonetta. During the last year of often isolating pandemic life, many of us turned to animals to help fill a need for relationships and connections. For example, I have several friends who brought new furry children into their lives this year. And it seems I am not the only one who has allowed the birds of my yard to capture my interest with their colors, behaviors, and cheerful songs. Animals allow us to nurture and love without judgment, and often you can learn a lot about a person based on how they treat and interact with the non-human creatures of this world. While you listen to today's selection of stories and writings, we ask that you take time to reflect on the animal connections in your own life and consider what aha experiences you may have had with the furry, feathered, scaled, and always true animals in your world. And please watch all the way to the end of service for a special message from our fundraising committee.
If we were awake, we would know how many epiphanies appear around us. We would know the little signs and the great signs and know them as our own, and know them as the treasure which is for each and every one, constantly renewing the spirit. And then perhaps we would finally know of our oneness, for they burn like fires in the heart, burn like poems in the mind, burn like stars in the darkness, burn away all that is not eternal, leaving only that which is beautiful. Today we light our chalice for all that is beautiful and the epiphanies that we share together.
years ago, 2 swans took over our end of the lake. At the time, across the lake, it was a wild peninsula with reeds and caterpillars, ideal for nesting. The pair had 2 to 4 cygnets every year and defended their territory vehemently. The male would even chase jet skis if they got too close. I even seen the male keep 3 pair of geese with 20 goslings on the lawn for a half hour, not letting them back into the lake. Very persistent. Only once at mating season did I see the pair bonding. They faced each other and then entwined their nicks and unentwined them, only to stare at each other, and then they entwined their nicks again. After a few times of doing this, they went off together, side by side, rubbing their heads together. It was a joy to see. After about 20 years, the male came to the lake by himself and was alone all year. After the second year, another pair took over this end of the lake, and they had ruled it ever since. Last year, they had 7 cygnets with the most I ever seen a pair of swans to have. Actually, they had 7, but the youngest one died, the smallest one died, and the other 7 were raised by themselves. It was a joy watching them live and play. All water birds come up to my lawn, but never the swans. They never get close to humans. This year, we had as many as 30 swans on the lake waiting to fly south. This Sunday, 6 swans flew in and landed on the ice. This is the earliest I ever seen them come back up north. I hope they find open water because they need it to live. And there is several rivers around here that flow all winter. So I hope they find the rivers and are comfortable now.
The 2 swans sit on the bay of the lake, a couple reflecting on their first summer without their cygnets, losing the twins after a mere few weeks of enjoyment with them, before the tragedy of nature struck their otherwise harmonious lives. From all outside appearances, this couple gives the impression of grace and gentle calmness, coming together, then swimming apart, feeding gingerly on grasses and insects from their personal sacred space in this inland lake. Who would ever know that they wait and wait for their young cygnets to return to them? Wasn't it just yesterday that they were floundering in their clumsy, newborn way, trying to learn to swim gracefully, just like their parents? Their twins never had a chance to enjoy this, what would have been their perfect first summer. They played too close to the shore, and the dangers lurked and lunged, and nature took its way. The fox fed its appetite, devouring all the possibilities for a future to mature into graceful swans. And now nature continues with its course, with these parents as well. I wonder if their tears are more easily washed away because they live on water instead of on land. I wonder if their memories are shorter than ours as humans who have suffered similar losses of nature taking its course with us in a cruel and tragic way at times. I hope their pain can subside in one season. Wouldn't that be a most generous gift of nature taking its full course? Thank you, Bud, for your stories about the swans. I self-confess that my propensity for use of anthropomorphic attributes to the swans bring out the personal love story of Bud and his beautiful wife, Dot. For 44 years, they seemed to be swans also that mated for life. When I would visit Dot, I could see the similarities of deep connections, communications, and sharing of life's adventure. They would make eye contact, Bud and Dot, simple touches, just as the swans had their days, giving them independent hobbies. Dot had her art, and Bud his repairs, and keeping the boats up so that they could take beautiful rides into the lake together. Peacefully drifting side by side, they would enjoy a meal and then some silence, and then watch the bright summer days turn to warm summer nights. As time went on, Dot drifted away into dementia, and it took its toll. But Bud was there, loyal, laughing, loving, caring, till the end. And now he continues to watch on his boat rides for the widow bachelor swan to return from its winter travels. All in a day's time, all in a season's time, the swans continue to come back and tell their story to us.
My name is Don Donigan, and I've been a friend of the church for about 25 years. And I'm glad to be here today sharing my aha moment. And it may sound like it's come from the Bible, which part of it might be. In the Bible, there's a story in Acts about a man named Saul who was not a very nice man. He persecuted the Christians, and one day he had to take a walk to Damascus, I think, and the clouds opened up, the bright sunshine came down, he fell on the ground, and when he got up, he was saved. And well, that's going to be my aha about me. And animals. The topic is animals. When I was in college, my favorite class was ornithology. And the professor was a neat woman. She believed in hands-on. And on the first day, she gave us an outline with a list of about 50 birds and names. And she said, this is your final exam at the end of the course, and I'll be giving you 25 birds to identify. Then from then on, we did a lot of good things. We built bird houses. We put them up in the community. Saturday mornings, we would meet at 6 o'clock, take a bus, all like to the different places around where the birding was good. She even brought in one day a square foot of muslin material, unbleached muslin, and a big box of crayons. And she said, this is your homework assignment. Go home, draw a picture of your favorite bird and color it with these crayons. But the lecture that I remember the best had to do with feeding the birds. And she said, people generally feed the birds in the wintertime and then stop in the spring. And she said, this is very wrong. The springtime is when you really need to feed the birds, because the grasses aren't growing yet to produce seeds. So I vowed at that time that I was going to feed the birds year-round, which I'm doing. After that, and I got established in life and got married, and with children and a house, I fed my birds year-round. Our neighbor across the street had 2 cats that she didn't take care of. She just let them roam all over the neighborhood. Well, they would come into my yard, and the cats would hide in my hostas and peek out at my birds, and then dash at them, get them, kill them, eat them. and it upset me very, very much, so I got a can of rocks. So every time they would be stalking my birds, I'd run out in the yard and throw the stones at those cats. I hated the cats. Well, one day she caught me, and she yelled, "Quit throwing rocks at my cats." I said, "Keep your damn cats at home away from my birds." And she didn't talk to me for about two years. Well, some friends of ours in Commerce had an automobile repair shop. And I took my cars there for change the oil. And he would do the car, and his wife ran the office. One day I picked up my car from having the oil changed, and while I was in the office, I looked on the file cabinet, and there, sitting up on top, was this gorgeous, gorgeous cat. And I said, "Oh, Eunice, what a beautiful cat. What kind is it?" "It's a Siamese cat." She said, "I'm trying to find a home for it. Do you want it?" "No," I said. "I hate cats. I don't want cats." Well, she said, "Take it home to Hannah and the kids and see what happens." Well, this is my aha moment. I got that cat in the car and took it home, and I never took it back, and that started it. Well, it was a female named Sugar already, so thought we would have her mated. And I had a friend who had a male cat, and they were mated. Had 4 kittens. One, he got the pick of the litter. And the other one I gave to a friend. And the other 2 we kept. So then we had 2 cats. A male and a female, Chat and Gato. Chat, French for cat, and Gato, Spanish for cat. Then we had a wildcat in the yard, and we named him Cat. So we had three cats named Cat. After that, we lost. After many years, began to lose the cats. And then our last cat was named Tony, and it was an Abyssinian, and that was out of all the cats, I think that was my favorite cat. And when he died 2 years ago, I said, "That's it. That's it. I'm in my late 80s. I'm not going to get involved with any more cats." Well, I had pressure from my 50-year-old kids. "Dad, you need a cat." So a friend of ours up in Mount Pleasant, who was going to be a vet at one time, well, she had a neighbor who had a cat have babies underneath the porch, and they were looking for a home. So I got pressure from the kids and from Hannah, "Let's get another cat." So now we have another cat we named Fauci, because he was born on the 1st of April, which is very soon. He'll be a year old. And we're dealing with him at this time. Well, so that's my aha moment, a change in my life, the salvation of Don, changing from a cat hater to a cat lover. And I've got some cats behind me here. I guess they can be seen. This cat we got in Egypt. This cat we got in Indonesia. And this is my favorite cat. It's called a calico cat. And that's from Oaxaca, Mexico. It's carved by men on the wood, but the women and children do the painting. Okay? I think that's it, and thank you. Have a good day.
Full Steam Ahead is the theme for this year's pledge drive. It began March 26th, and the fundraising committee and chair Mark Petrie hope to see your pledges by April 4th, Easter Sunday. UUCF moves into an interim search for ministry, looking to meet a budget that would sustain full-time ministry for the church year 21-2022. If you have any questions, contact Mark Petrie1@yahoo.com as we move full steam ahead into the next church year.